All right, I think you should be able to hear me now. Yep, the mic's working. All right, let me just test my YouTube to check if YouTube's online. Yeah, YouTube's back online as well. That's great. All right, let's take the headphones out now. So let's go. Let's see what's happening in the markets today. So let's make sure you guys can see my screen properly. So the trading screen's on, and we leave this around this area here. All right, guys, so who's trading Nasdaq with us today this morning? It's the 13th of April 2026, and we've had a massive dump in the market since last night. Okay, wow. So we have started to push back up to fill in the gap. So what I'm looking at the moment is the 30-minute time frame. As you can see, I marked out this area here. Okay, yeah, I marked out this area here because on one of the time frames it was showing it was a fair value gap and a big push to the downside, and also you can use it as a supply zone. And we did have a huge dump from here all the way down to here, and we can see price has started to push up to fill the gap in, but we don't know what price is doing at the moment. So it can start pushing back up, but we'll have a look what's going on first before we take any entries. We don't want to force any trades, especially on a Monday morning, and we've had a massive dump. We don't actually know what the market's trying to do. Minute time frame. Let me just drop down to the 1 minute so you guys can see this screen here. Okay, so we don't know if price is going to continue going down because we have had a change of character on the 1 minute time frame. So let me just see what's going on the 30-minute. Okay. So if there is a push down, there will be one from here if there is a push down, but you want to see this fair value gap get you want to see this fair value gap get disrespected. And we still got 1 minute open till London session opens up. I wouldn't want to use 10 units, don't want to size up that much. have a look what this their stop loss. $200 about there. Actually, we're not in too much of a good price range at the moment. All right, let's see what happens here. This fair value gets respected, we're going to continue pushing down, but I won't take an entry on the exact London session opening because there'll be too much volatility, or there may be none, but you don't want to risk it because you don't want to get stopped out instantly. So yeah, we could let it play out, and trading's boring, so you just got to sit and wait. Got to sit and wait for your setup. As you can see, the price has broken past this fair value gap and prices continue to push up, and on the higher time frames price is pushing back up because it has to fill in that 30-minute fair value gap, and it has to balance the market back out again because there's a lot of pending orders sitting there. Okay, let's go. So anyone trading the London session, Nasdaq on the London session? Does anyone ever trade the Nasdaq on the London session? Okay, so as trading's boring, you have to sit and wait for your setup, and we don't know when a setup will show up right now. Okay, let's have a look on the... I've got a couple of screens here, guys. I've got a 5-minute and 2 and 3 minute charts open, and obviously I've got my higher time frame chart open as well, but you guys can only see my 1 minute time frame because that's the time frame I execute my trades on, the 1 minute. And then depending on which way the market's moving, I can hold my trade for day trading, or we can scalp, but I don't like scalping, so I like holding on to my trades. So I like to enter in a good point of interest and then just hold my trade, and then just bring the stop loss up slowly and trail my stop loss. But I can't actually see what the market's doing right now. On the 2 minute, it's wicked down from here, so this is a wick on the 2 minute chart. On the 5 minute, it's wicked down as well, so we don't know. Is it gonna probably come round about to here and then push up? But we've not broke this area here, so we don't know if we're gonna continue up. So we just gotta wait. Sit and wait. Sit on your hands and don't enter a trade until you need to enter a trade. So any newbies, any new guys that are just learning trading at the moment, or anyone who's actually trading the Nasdaq at the moment, slowly these lives will grow. It's just now I've not been doing it for a while, and I've been on and off, so the consistency's not been there with my live trading. But now that I've started to live trade, the consistency will be there and the channel will start to grow. Alright, so if this area gets respected, we'll continue shooting to the upside, but we're not risking that because that's a risky trade for us right now. Some days you can just execute and just hold the trade. Some days if you can't see your setup, you just don't trade, but that's what trading's about. Even if you don't take a trade and you're sitting on your hands, that's still trading because you're waiting for the right setup. And I've got my hot water with lemon here right now, detoxing as well. mad trading live as well, because then if one trade goes against you, everyone thinks, oh, they're losing. They don't know how to trade because they lost the trade. But trading's all about letting your winners run and cutting your losers. So just say I took a trade here and my stop loss was on $200. I'd make sure my take profit is double or triple that. If I can, I would let it run, and if I can't, I'd make sure my trade gets stopped out, so you have enough money to enter a trade in again for the next time, and you're just not blowing your accounts in one go, or force trading or over trading. So what I'm looking at the moment is this area here. This is the area here that I'm looking at the moment. Let's make that blue a bit darker. Okay, here. I'm thinking if this area gets respected, price may continue shooting to the upside, because we have been pushing up since 1 a.m. I can't believe we had a massive dump from here at 9:55. So 10 o'clock price started dumping. 10 p.m. GMT time price started dumping. Wow, till 11 o'clock, and then we started chopping around, and then we started pushing to the upside. So price is pushing up, but we just don't know. All right, so you can see this area has been wicked here slightly, but you can't just trust it straight away on the first candle, unless you were 100% certain and you know how to read market structure and prices in a clear uptrend. Then you can say, okay, it's wicked this area, stop loss below the lows and take profit 1 to 2 or 1 to 3. You can take that. But because I'm not 100% certain what the market's doing at the moment, are we chopping around in this area? Because we can't go for a buy at the moment, because these highs never broke past this area here. So we're waiting for a clear change of character or a break of structure before I will take any trade. So we need confluences. You need confirmation that, okay, this is the right area. If you want to be risky, you can take this, because overall we've been going up. This could be just a slight retracement and we can continue pushing up to the upside, but still too risky for me. Okay, let's have a look. So I've got 3 funded accounts at the moment with Take Profit Trader. I've messaged Take Profit Trader this morning saying, why are my accounts not approved? Sorry. I don't think they're going to be approved till London session, maybe. Yeah. Got 3 funded and 1 challenge, which is activated, and I'm on the challenge account at the moment. So yeah, this looks like price is pushing up. But I don't trust it, not right now, not on a Monday morning, not when we've had a massive dump to the downside. Scalpers would have made some money here. They would have took this. Scalpers just scalped 1 or 2 candles and a lower time frame than the 1 minute as well. sometimes just the 1 minute. They would take this buy here and that much would be enough, or this sell here and then that much would be enough for them. But I like to hold the trade a little bit longer, at least half an hour, depending on which way the market's going and how fast it's moving. Because sometimes if you got a lot of volatility, the trade that takes you half an hour in high volatility and a New York session opening, and sometimes on a London session opening, that trade can be, depending on how the candle's moving, it could be done in a few minutes. So it can be done in a few minutes day trading as well. That's why you just got to wait for your perfect A+ setup. Okay, so I can't get my trade syncer up and running at the moment because my 3 funded accounts are not active, and the only one that is active is this challenge account, and this is the 25,000 one, and I don't really want to trade this one because I've got $75,000 worth of funded accounts that want to be trading. So now that I'm talking about funded accounts, I'll just quickly show you what I'm talking about. Okay, so this is my trade syncer. We ain't got no connections there at the moment, not like last week, because all the challenges are past now. We're waiting for them to come into the funded stage. So these are all my pro accounts. Look, so there's 50k, 75, 50k, 25, 75, 50, 75, 25. They're all waiting for a reset. I don't really usually do resets because obviously reset costs more money to reset the account. I just end up trading the 5 days on Take Profit Trader again and just passing it again. So as you can see here, I've passed 3 funded accounts again, and I'm just waiting for them to be activated so I can go to pro. But I can't go to pro at the moment because Take Profit Trader is an American company, I think, so they're not going to be live until around pre-market New York session. So I'd say about 12 p.m. London session. So yeah, I can't activate them maybe for now. Try again just now. Yeah, still can't activate it. Because what happens with Take Profit Trader, you have 5 days to pass the account, and each day you can't make more than 50% of your total profits. So I've done the 5 days, but if you pass on a Friday, you won't get your funded account till the Monday, and because it's American company, Monday will be later on in the afternoon. So maybe I'll be trading New York session today, but I've still got another challenge here with them which I can trade. I'll just have to sit there and trade this challenge account. So if anyone wants to join me on YouTube, because you can't see the full screen on TikTok, you could go over to YouTube and just search for FX Trader 2024 and you should find me, but the real name should be FX-Trader 2024. As you can see, the market's just chopping around on the 1 minute time frame. It looks messy on the 5 minute. I'll just show you that. So on the 5 minute, it just looks like this, and that's not something that I would trade. 2 minute, this would have been the area. So take an entry from this fair value gap to the downside, but because the way the market was just chopping around, I thought, nah, there's no point. Monday morning, we don't know which way the market's going. This would have been a good trade here, just a quick 1-to-1. Well, maybe this would have been a 1-to-2 actually. Let's have a look. So if I put a limit here, stop loss here. Okay, could have just done below the fair value gap, then to take profit would have been here. So if I risked $150 here, I would have made $445 there. But because I'm using like 10 minis at the moment, that's one. Now I'm using 10 micros, so that's one mini. I don't know if the micros are minis. Anyway, that's one lot, one contract, and that would be 10 micros is one mini. That's what it is. So because there's a lot of size here, that clearly shows me that it's not a good area to trade, because normally one mini $300 would be around about here like that for the stop loss, but it's pretty big. The price range is pretty wide, so that clearly tells me that it's not a good price where we're trading or where we're looking to enter for a trade. Okay, yeah, so like I was saying, if anybody wants to join me on YouTube, I do live trading every day, Monday to Friday, 8:30 a.m. GMT time. That's the London session. You can join me on YouTube. YouTube name is FX-Trader-2024, or just search for FX Trader 2024 and you should find me. On TikTok, I am live as well, but because you can't see my full screen and look at everything what I'm looking at, you can join me on YouTube and you can get access to that full screen. And yes, it's all free. I don't charge for anything unless you want to use me as a mentor, then obviously there'll be charges there, but yeah, I don't. So yeah, if you respected this, if you thought this fair value gap was respected here, price started pushing up, couldn't break past this high here and continued pushing down, and it looks like it's just disrespected this fair value gap. Now it depends on what this candle does, but yeah, that just looks like that was dead, so I wouldn't be trading that area there. Price is just chopping around, and I don't know how long it's going to be chopping around for, so we'll stay here probably till about 9 o'clock. Let's have a look what price is doing. 9:15 and then 9:30. Yeah, I'll probably stay till about 9:30 and then we'll see if we can get an entry. If not, I'm not taking a trade. Price is just chopping. Too choppy. At least we got some background music to keep us going. Is 8:30 a.m. too early? Or guys, even trading right now on the London session, everything just seems so dead and quiet. But I think maybe a lot of people don't know about my channel as well, so. But I'm gonna keep on doing this because I like it. Trading's boring and you need some company. And as soon as I start getting more followers and people watching my trading, we can start like making some friends and start chatting and helping each other with our trades, because yeah, like I said, trading is boring. Look, you don't know what price is doing right now. It's just chopping around. Close this fair value gap and then continued pushing up, but that's on the 1 minute. But overall, on the higher time frame, we are pushing up, but this is not a good entry for me, because what I'm looking at is, let me just take you over to the 30-minute time frame. Okay, so let me see if you can see on the TikTok screen. Okay, so what I'm looking on a 30-minute time frame, this candle and this is what's happening right now. We don't trade this. What I'm looking at is price to probably come back into this area again. As you can see, this area, it has been mitigated because this candle tapped into this area here and pushed up. But I'm thinking, let me just get the Fibonacci retracement tool out. That's not retraced more than 50%. So if price goes below this area here, so this fair value gap's not even something that I am looking at the moment. All this area's been tested, so yeah, there's not much for me to go from at the moment. No clear entry, no point of interest or area of interest, unless we can get price to retrace from around here, then it goes below this 50% area. Then if I go onto the 1 minute time frame and I see some sort of change of character, break of structure, market structure shift, then I'll be looking for an entry, but it has to come below here. But we can't see what price is doing because we may still continue pushing up, but we don't know. But that's what I'm looking at the moment, and if I don't get it, I'm not taking an entry. You have to be very strict with trading. If one day goes by and you don't take an entry, it's fine. At least you've saved yourself for another trade tomorrow. You don't want to take one wrong trade today, which puts you in a spiral of forced trading, revenge trading, because you want to see a green day. And then that's it. You blow your account. You don't want to do that because you want to take a payout. You want to take money out of the market. You want to extract from the market. You don't want to keep putting it back into the market and then someone else taking your your losers. We want to be taking money from the market like Trump did with that dump last night. This man Trump, yeah, he put out a tweet last week regarding Iran, saying he's going to wipe out the whole of Iran, and at 1 AM GMT time there's going to be a red folder news event, and he said the country should be wiped out around about that time, or the bombing will start around about that time. It should finish around about that time. I don't know, but the markets opened, Asian session opened at 1, and we just had a massive push up to the upside because there was uncertainty about what was going on with the war. Trump and his tweets killing everybody. Yeah, lucky I didn't take no trades on that day, but you could have made a lot of money if you did. You caught a good trade. You caught the tweet. But with prop firms, it depends, because on prop firms, if you're trading certain times, like they don't want you to trade after New York session ends, otherwise your accounts can get void and you don't get payouts. So you got to be very careful with prop firms. Depending, if you choose a swing trading account, then that's different. You can hold that over nights and weekends, I think. Yeah, I think you can. But futures day trading, and you're not swing trading, then you can't hold trades overnight. So yeah, even if we did try, your accounts would get blown, they'd be void. So as you can see, price is still chopping around, and this is not something that I would go for. You need a clear move. You need to see a clear entry. You need to see a clear move to the upside or a clear move to the downside. If it's just going sideways like this, just chopping around, then then I wouldn't take that. But a lot of people have entered here right now because of this fair value gap here. They thought this was going to get respected and price is going to be going up, so they would have had their stop losses below here, around about here, and then take profit anywhere here or above, wherever, depending wherever they want to take profit, or that's their target area. But because price is just chopping around, you'd be sitting in drawdown right now. Slightly come out of drawdown, but you'd be in and out of drawdown, so it's not really a good area to trade from. If you had taken a sell in this area, where this fair value gap is, your stop loss probably would have been here above the high, and you take profit down there. So right now you would be in some sort of profit in this area, but you don't know if price is going to continue shooting down or what it's doing. So yeah, you just sit this one out. You have to just sit and wait. And this is why trading is just so damn boring, because when there's uncertainty, you don't know what's going on, you don't know which way price is going, then you end up either blowing your accounts or just sitting out and waiting till the next day. But then even when you're sitting out, you want to be part of the action, and because you want to be part of the action, you start forcing trades and revenge trading, and that's the worst thing you can do. Just sit on your hands and don't take a trade. I would have looked at some other pairs or instruments, shall I say. I would have looked at some other instruments like gold. What else is there? I just look at gold and Nasdaq, to be honest with you. Let's have a look what else is there. These are the ones that I look at. But because I'm on futures, there's ES, Nasdaq, and gold. They're the ones I look at on futures. Don't really look at anything else. I should look at silver and stuff maybe, but I don't. Forex, I look at EUR USD, USD JPY, GBP USD, but I don't trade GBP USD. Because when I first started learning how to trade, or shall I say when I first never even knew how to trade, I came on the markets looking at GBP USD. I was putting my own personal funds into the account, and that instrument just smashed me. So I never, even now, I never trade the GBP USD. Maybe one day where I think, okay, I want to get my money back and I see the perfect A+ setup, I might take an entry. But that's when I need to be on, either I need to be on my personal account or I need to be trading the CFD prop firm space. So right now I'm on futures, so I'm looking at the Nasdaq, gold and S&P, but I don't ever really trade gold. I just one pair for me, and I'm fully focused on Nasdaq. We've not had any comments or anything come through. Maybe it's too early. Maybe guys don't really trade this early, but there's got to be other people around the world, or even in the UK, that have to be trading the London session. Or maybe it's just some people may be lazy and they just can't be asked to wake up so early and get on the charts. But if you want to make it in trading, you got to get up. You got to get up and you got to be fresh and you got to be ready. Be ready to trade, take an entry. But only if you see an A+ setup. You don't want to just take an entry for the hell of it. Alright, so let's have a look what's going on. We're still chopping around. Price hasn't come into my point of interest. We're still in an area of imbalance. because of what happened last night, the massive dump we've had. We're in a huge area of imbalance, so right now we don't know if price is going up or down. Ooh, pardon me. But on the 2-minute, still looks choppy, maybe rejecting to the downside. On the 5-minute, still choppy, and the 1-minute, it's definitely choppy. So yeah, definitely not taking an entry. All right, here's some momentum. What's happening? Is it going up to collect liquidity and then we're gonna have a push right back down, or is it going up to show us that buyers have come in? And right now it don't look like that. Maybe, we don't know. It depends on how this candle closes. So whoever entered here on this fair value gap, they'll be happy right now because they'll be out of drawdown and they'll be seeing some sort of green now. They'll be seeing green profits, whoever entered here. So they're out of drawdown. You know, this possibly looks like it might start pushing up. Or is it just coming to this area because now it's going to be bouncing around a support and resistance area for a short while? Not sure, but we don't still take an entry. Not right now anyway. Yeah, so this imbalance has been filled. Is price going to continue up, or they're going to leave a little? Oh, price may start pushing, may start pushing up. I don't like that. I don't like that. Still early in the 1-minute candle anyway, so that may start pushing back up again. See, this is where a lot of people would start entering and taking trades, but then price can just go against them and then you're done. I would have been alright taking my entry from here. Would have been minimum drawdown. Yeah, it's still not a good area for me though, because wow, look at that. It's breaking structure to the upside. Look at that trade. This trade from this candle just worked out. It just worked out, guys. That's mad. But it's only just broken structure to the upside. And it's not left any fair value gaps. So for me, that's not part of my game plan. So I still wouldn't be taking an entry anywhere there. But I think today is going to be one of those days where price is just going to chop around and I'm not going to find an entry. But that one trade would have done it. But if I took that trade, I'd be breaking all my rules. So no point dwelling on that one. And usually I trade about 7 micros. So clearly price isn't great at the moment, because 7 micros stop loss would be down here, because I like to risk around $200 to $300. So for $300, that would be like way too far, the stop loss, and then that would only be making $300 as a 1-to-1. So that's not great price. I would like my $300 to be around here at least, so that way I could make my 1-to-2, 1-to-3, whatever I need to do. So yeah, that wasn't the right place for me to enter. And now price is slightly chopping around this area again. And oh, I've not shown you guys the news today, have I? Because I couldn't see any news events for today. Let's have a look. So I use I use fxstreet.com. Loads of guys use Forex Factory and some other news event calendar event things, but I use fxstreet.com. It just works perfect. Let me show you on here because you won't be able to see it on TikTok. So TikTok guys, you can see this now. Yeah, so as you can see here, you just have the time on the left hand side. Obviously you got to make it to your country, otherwise you're going to be reading the news events at the wrong time and get blown up your accounts. So yeah, here's a time on the left hand side, and this tells you if it's a red folder, orange folder, yellow folder. I just don't trade red folders, so anything that looks like this is tomorrow, anything that's like that, I don't trade the red folders. Orange folders, I don't mind, I trade them depending on the volatility. Yeah, still can't understand what the market's trying to do. Probably give it another 10 minutes and then I'll probably come off live. Yeah, I'll give it another 10 minutes and then I'll come off live. But if I do take an entry in the rest of the day, I'll share it with you guys live tomorrow morning at 8:30 a.m. If you stay on the charts for too long, you start wanting to enter in a trade and forcing a trade and maybe losing it, and then revenge trading because you want to start making your money back. So you have to be very careful on how long you're sitting at the charts and how long your brain can handle it. Because if you're sitting on the charts all day, then what are you looking for? Unless you're an expert, you understand, you know exactly what you're looking for, and you can just sit and wait. I'm at the stage where I can just sit and wait. I can sit here hours and just wait. As you can see, I've been just sitting here for hours, just sitting and talking. But well, with you guys, it's only been past 45 minutes. I probably don't think I've shut up in the past 45 minutes, but that's good for you guys. It's good for knowledge. So anyone who's going to pick these videos up on YouTube and watch them later, it's good for knowledge. Look, price is just bouncing around, but price here, price in this range here. So let me just mark out another area of interest on the 2-minute time frame. On the 2-minute time frame, this is actually a fair value gap. So we don't know if price will respect this area and continue pushing up. But for me, it's not an entry because I'd like that fair value gap to be on the 1 minute, not the 2-minute. Price may retrace to about here and then continue pushing down. We don't know. But what we do know is that I know what I'm talking about, because market's done exactly what I've been saying. So yeah, come on, follow me guys, watch me guys trade live 8:30 a.m. GMT every day, Monday to Friday. I might jump on a live session, New York sessions as well, if I feel like it, around 12 o'clock pre-market New York. But that all depends. Sometimes the market moves beautifully in London session. You can just catch an entry and you think, okay, yes, that's me, that's done for the day. So you can be in and out of the markets in about 40 minutes. Just turn your computer on, find your setup, enter a trade, maybe a few minutes, get your trade and get out. Like this entry here, it would have been perfect, but I didn't take it because it was just showing that market had gone down, change of character, and it was still going down. But now it's broken to the upside. This 2-minute fair value gap can be valid, but with my, if it was part of my game plan, I would have liked fair value gap to be on the 1-minute time frame, because that's my setup. Because what's it doing now? Yeah, that's my setup. So I'd only like to trade if it was my setup. I wouldn't want to trade it any other way, because I don't follow my rules and then I end up losing a trade. I don't like that. Then I will try and see a green day, and I don't want to be forcing trades or revenge trading. And to be fair, I don't really force trades and revenge trade anymore like I used to, unless I'm on a challenge phase. And if I'm on a challenge phase and I'm not on a funded account, then I'd just oversize and try and make it back, because it's just a challenge. But when you're on funded, you just size down and just try and squeeze out as much money as you can from the markets. Let's see my last week's trade Zella. Is it on there? Go to this month. Yeah, look, net profit, net P&L. I don't think you can see that on the TikTok screen. Let me bring it over onto the TikTok side. There you go. Let's go for half the page. Yep, TikTok can see that. So as you can see, my net P&L last week was 5,125. Many trades taken, because I had a lot of challenges, and I was on challenge phases, which are now past, and I'm waiting for them to be funded accounts. But as you can see, Monday 2k, Tuesday 600, Wednesday 1.1k, Thursday 1.3k, and then on Friday I just had to make a quick $7 trade, because I just needed to show that I was consistent for 5 days. And yeah, and when it totals up, it adds up. So if you let everything add up, that's $5,000, and that was for the week. So imagine if you're doing that for the month, that's $20,000 a month, looking at roughly about £15,000, maybe just a bit less. But yeah, that's that on TradeZilla. I use TradeSyncer. This is the system I use. Again, you can't see that on TikTok, so let me put it over onto the half screen. This is a system I use to copy all my trades, but currently I've not got any of my accounts on here, because Take Profit Trader has not yet given me my funded account, which I'm waiting for. So yeah, we're just still waiting. And price is still chopping around at the moment. So yeah, 9:15. GMT. Should I take an entry here? Should I take an entry there? Because this is a challenge account. And I can risk up to 3 minis, which are 30 micros. Stop loss there. Take profit around there, because I can't make more than $750 in this challenge. So imagine that it hits this area here and goes up. That would be me passing my first part, but too risky right now. We don't know what price is doing, so I wouldn't be taking an entry. So this is trading, guys. Sitting on your hands is trading. Not taking an entry is trading. If you're unsure and your setup's not showing, do not take the entry. It's not worth it. You'll blow your account. Come on, guys. Where's all the London session, guys? Come on, wake up and join the session. If not, you can watch it again on YouTube anyway. See what I'm saying? Sometimes these fair value gaps just don't get respected. If this closes below it, that means that fair value gap on the 2-minute time frame was disrespected. But on the 1 minute, it's clearly it just wasn't a fair value gap. But I don't trade just fair value gaps alone. I like to trade market structure and see which way the market's actually going before I take an entry. So I think we'll give it another 14 minutes and then that will be 1 hour done. Oh, actually, we've been live for 54 minutes already. So I could give it another 5 minutes and then capiche, we can come off. Or let's just wait till 9:30 and we'll see what's happening. We'll wait till 9:30, guys, and see if we can catch an entry. And then I'm going to be chasing Take Profit Trader and telling them, oi, why is my funded accounts not being made live at the moment? Yeah, so you can see. So if I go to past, this is how many tests I have passed. And then once you pass these tests, they go over to the Pro. And as you can see on Pro, I have now blown 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 accounts with Take Profit Trader. But I've passed 3. So even if you pass 1 account and you make back $200 to $300, you've made back some profit and your money back that you spent on a challenge on Take Profit Trader. But the only thing that you've got to be wary about on Take Profit Trader is that you have to make a buffer of a trading drawdown once you've passed. Once you make the trading drawdown buffer, you can start taking out profits daily. So on the 2-minute time frame, I could have scalped a trade and I would have hit my take profit now, and that would have been my first part of my challenge done. But we're not trading like that, so that's fine. Anyone else trading Nasdaq? No one else trading Nasdaq? before I make a mistake, I better bring the lot size back down. For now, we'll keep it at 10 micros, which is 1 mini, which is 1 contract. Yeah, because we don't want to make a mistake and enter into a trade and then we've oversized just because you ain't bothered changing your contract sizes. Price is mad, just chopping around like crazy. So this is the reason, guys. This is why we don't take an entry and you just sit on your hands. Remember, sitting on your hands and not taking a trade is also trading. So if you ever feel that you need to force trade or revenge trade or take an entry for no reason and create a setup that's not already there, remember, sitting on your hands and not taking a trade is trading, because you're saving your capital for trade another day or maybe a later time in the day. So if you can't find a setup on the London session, you might end up looking for something on the New York session. There's a possibility that this will continue up now. Possibility. All depends on this candle. It goes down till about here, rejects this area here. Remember, that is the fair value gap on the 2 minute. If this area keeps, ooh, all right, guys, the battery's been exhausted on my camera. So what I'm going to do for now is I'm going to shoot off and I may come back on the New York session, or if I do take an entry on the New York session, I'll share it with you guys tomorrow. So until tomorrow, see you later, guys, and take care.